Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're taking something thousands of years old and applying it to one of the most frustrating modern problems we face literally every single day. We are going to transform an ancient myth into a highly practical, totally modern framework for deep focus. So, can a Hindu god actually cure your doom scrolling? I know, it sounds a little wild, but seriously, if you've ever sat down to study or work and suddenly found yourself, 2 hours deep into a social media rabbit hole, you absolutely need this. We are bridging the gap between epic ancient mythology and your very real modern struggle to just get things done without losing your mind to distractions. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. The God of Distraction. A mythological battle for focus. So picture this. Deep in the Himalayas, Lord Shiva sat in profound, unbroken meditation. This incredible state is known as samadhi. He was completely detached from the physical world. No noise, no movement, just absolute stillness and absolute focus. But while Shiva is perfectly still, the rest of the universe outside is basically falling apart. A demon named Tarkasura is terrorizing everything in existence. And there's this prophecy that dictates that only a son born of Shiva can defeat this demon. So the gods hatch a desperate plan to break Shiva's meditation, so he'll finally notice the goddess Parvati. To pull this off, they send the heavy hitters. Kamadeva, the god of desire, accompanied by his wife Rati, the goddess of infatuation. And you've got to look at Kamadeva's arsenal here. He doesn't bring swords or shields to this battle. Nope. He brings a bow made of sugarcane. Its string is made entirely of a line of humming bees, and his arrows are tipped with fragrant flowers. It's incredibly poetic and beautiful, but make no mistake, this is a weapon of pure distraction, aimed squarely at the ultimate state of human concentration. All right, Section 2, the cosmic fire, the ultimate test of focus. So Kamadeva creeps through the forest, bow drawn, waiting for the absolute perfect moment. The flower arrow flies and strikes directly into Shiva's heart. Instantly, a sudden, super powerful wave of worldly desire ripples through Shiva's mind. That perfect stillness, it's broken. He experiences a severe internal cognitive disturbance. But here is the major turning point. Shiva doesn't panic. He doesn't just immediately give in to the temptation either. Instead, he turns his gaze inward to find the exact source of the distraction. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates the sheer power of an objective, non-judgmental pause. He just observes what is happening to his own mind. Having traced the distraction all the way to its source, he spots Kamadeva hiding behind the trees. And Shiva opens his Ajna chakra, his third eye. This eye emits a blinding flash of cosmic fire made of pure awareness. The intense heat of this awareness instantly reduces Kamadeva to a pile of ashes. The distraction is completely obliterated by the sheer fire of his attention. Now, Kamadeva's wife, Rati, is naturally distraught and begs for mercy. Shiva relents, but here's the catch. He doesn't bring Kamadeva back in a physical body. Instead, he resurrects him as Ananga, which translates to the bodiless or formless one. From that moment on, desire would no longer exist as a physical external force. It would live strictly inside the human heart as a subtle, invisible energy. Which brings us to Section 3. Your desk is your mat, bridging the ancient and the modern. Now, what's really interesting about this is when we drop the mythology for a second and just think about your own daily life. When you sit down to study or do deep work, your desk is your meditation mat and your syllabus is your spiritual practice. Notice how perfectly these two worlds align. We have Shiva in Samadhi, getting attacked by Kamadeva's arrows, and then we have you in your study session, being attacked by your phone or a sudden heavy wave of boredom and loneliness. That urge to check your notifications, that is exactly Kamadeva. Okay, moving to Section 4, the 4-step Shiva method, the psychological blueprint. This whole framework actually breaks down into 4 clear cognitive steps. Step 1 is recognize. Step 2 is pause. Step 3 is burn, and Step 4 is sublimate. Let's dig into how this builds into a totally unstoppable workflow. All right, Step 1, recognize. When you're studying a really tough topic, your brain experiences cognitive friction. It gets uncomfortable, right? To escape that discomfort, your mind shoots an arrow of desire, maybe whispering to, just check notifications for 1 minute, or, hey, let's just listen to one song. You've got to recognize that this urge is not you. It is just Kamadeva trying to break your focus. Now, see how most students handle distraction? They usually do one of 2 completely wrong things. The first is indulgence, just giving in, picking up the phone, and wasting 2 hours scrolling. The second is suppression, getting angry, trying to forcefully glue your eyes to the book while your mind actually stays completely distracted.
So the crucial point is to take a different path entirely. Step 2 is pause. Act like Shiva. Pause and look directly at the urge. Don't click the app, but hey, don't hate yourself for feeling distracted either. Mentally state exactly what is happening. Literally tell yourself, I am experiencing the urge to scroll right now because this math problem is hard and I feel lonely. You just look right at it.
Which leads us straight to step 3, burn to ashes. By simply observing the urge without acting on it, you cut off its power. A craving actually requires your active imagination to stay alive. When you look at it objectively, like a scientist examining a specimen, the craving naturally starves. The pure fire of your non-judgmental attention literally burns the distraction to ashes. And finally, step 4, sublimate. Once that urgent craving dissolves, you're going to notice a sudden surge of raw energy left behind. Remember Ananga? That bodiless energy? That's what this is. Don't let it go to waste. Take that formless energy and channel it directly back into your textbook. This is called tapas. You're taking the restless fire of a distraction and turning it into the laser-sharp light of deep concentration.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. The very next time you sit down to work and you feel that sudden friction of focus, what will you do with your raw, formless, anoniga energy? Will you let it burn your study session to the ground, or will you use it to light up your mind? Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and good luck mastering your focus.